was probably about 10 years ago. Those all back there were still in complete disrepair. I remember we peeked in some windows and you could see the pine boxes in the bottom.
Yeah.
The coffins. I want to say we peeked in this window and this is where
yeah.
Is it in there?
Yeah, right there.
Tammy said she needs an attitude adjustment.
That's like... You are so close to the house.
Where's the old house? Oh, is it right over there?
Yep.
Where I'm seeing the... That's what I'm seeing. Okay, that's what I was wondering. So that's the old asylum over there.
Okay, I'm getting something really big right now. I need to go to that massage room and get a massage.
Oh, jeez.
So these are the doors if you leave them open?
So all these doors last week were left open on Friday, and when they came in on Monday, all those doors on the inside were closed.
Oh, like all those in the...
All the hallway doors.
Wow. And then it's not like they swing closed automatically or anything. There's no like little arm thing at the top.
Yeah.
Because it's...
Yeah.
And that took quite a bit of force. Were they latched closed?
I believe so.
What can you tell us about this building or some of the other accounts from in here that... this is Karen, by the way, everybody.
Hi. I know the building was built in '79.
Okay.
We've seen apparitions, heard voices, smelled cigarette smoke.
For anybody watching, it smells new in here. It's very like...
It does, it's sterile.
But it was one specific spot in a corner. It was not like...
So like
the
they were
whole room.
hiding and trying to smoke.
Yeah.
We know if it's someone hiding to smoke that that's a woman because a man don't care. Men don't care, they'll just smoke wherever they
That's
are.
true.
Women would hide it, so more than likely if you found it like where they were trying to hide it was probably a female spirit.
What was this before you moved into it?
It's always been a doctor's office. This building and the building next door, we were told was built by a doctor. One was the residence, one was his practice. Don't know which one was which.
So let me ask you this. When you notice it's more active, do you know because it feels kind of like if you're stressed, it's probably more active. If you're going through some personal things, it would make it, especially if it's a woman, they would want to be around and try to calm you.
When all these doors and the activity over here was happening, I know that the chiropractor's father had just passed away.
Yeah, because usually when it's something like that, they usually are, especially like the female energy, they're gonna come around when someone's going through something like to try to, it's okay, it's gonna be okay. I don't get a male energy here. I know you guys think that you've had one. I don't get a male energy. This is a little more different over here. This is more of a standstill energy. Like things, do you feel any different? Like it just feels like, walk from here to walk back over there.
Maybe I'm just used to it, so, but when I did see the entity walk from that door over to here.
Oh, like
Yeah.
that to here?
I thought it was my client coming out of
Ooh.
my massage room, because I was standing right here and I just kind of glanced and I saw it go across the hall, and I thought, oh, she came out. Then I looked at the door and the door was still closed.
Okay.
So is that around the same time as the doors over there were shutting, or are these separate incidents, or?
It was within probably 2-3 weeks.
Definitely feels like two distinct different sides of the building.
My ex-business partner said that he saw a little boy and he saw a woman in a man's boots walking across the hallway.
Okay. So the woman was in the man's boots.
I don't know, because I've heard a man's voice. I was the last one out of here. I was closing everything up. My business partner's car was still in the parking lot, but I knew he was gone. And I shut the lights off and I hear, "Hey!"
I almost think 90% of what's happening here is residual energy, because the energy is a little colder, meaning a little more stale, not connectable. So it doesn't mean that, and the random hey could have been with someone that came earlier and they brought whoever with them and they didn't walk out when they did. And if there is a residual loop, it doesn't mean that they could go 5 years without not ever coming back here again and then boom, be here again. But over there, I just felt like someone went through something and it caused someone to want to be around. And that's why I asked that when all of that happened, did someone just go through something?
Could that be residual from like the original doctor that had this? Maybe there's a diagnosis that was given that was not good. I'm sure, depending on what kind of doctor it could have been.
It could be, or this could have been the home.
Okay.
So we don't really know if this was the home or this was the actual doctor's office. But in those days, you know, a lot of the doctors still worked out of their home, even if they had a practice.
This looks like it's freshly renovated. When you guys renovated, did you notice anything out of the ordinary or find anything that...
Where'd you find the paperwork that you talked about to the land from the 1800s?
The original title to this land, I guess, because it dated back to the 1800s.
And it just, you came in one day and it was just here?
It was just there. Nobody knew where it came from.
Probably as things started to happen, you guys probably started to associate it with a doctor. And maybe they're like, hey, not the doctor. This is my land.
We didn't really know what it was.
So on the original, did it say it was like just private land, or was it part of the state hospital?
It did not say it was part of the state hospital.
Okay.
It looked like it was private land.
And think about it too, you know, when people would wander off from the state hospital or they closed it, where would people have went? To the land around it.
Yeah.
Because when they closed it, they threw everybody out.
Well, you gotta think, if there was any type of house or barn or anything on the property, they would definitely have gone to get some shelter.
This was land that they walked across. They probably slept on it. But I don't think it's attached to the building. I think it's the land and the people around. I think what happened over here was definitely because when you said that, I got, yeah, something just happened. Like they were stressed and someone was going through something and someone was looking out for them. So, and I think with massages, I know what it does, and you know that you pull energy out of people. And energy can stay, and energy has a way to manifest.
You're thinking over here is more residual, right?
Yes,
and
that's what I'm getting. It doesn't mean that they can't like do both.
And then this one was the one to the left over here. You're right. That was more like somebody had some sort of trauma energy left behind.
They were stressed. No, someone was going through something really stressful and the person wanted to be around, wanted to help them.
The general idea is residual
would be very sporadic and random.
And she saw an apparition go across. Why don't we put the REM pod where that apparition would have been?
Yeah.
To see if that goes off. And then while we're doing that, we should be able to hear it, because this is a pretty open concept. So we should be able to hear the REM pod go off.
Anywhere.
Maybe the music box over there?
Maybe on one of the massage beds, because if it's a woman or it's an energy, they're going to want...
Yeah, we could do that.
We can ask it to crawl up on the massage bed.
So for anybody watching, the that little white part where Tammy's waving her hand, that's the motion sensor. And then the REM pod that she placed in there, which I'll show you where she put it.
Which bed do you feel the most from? Which room? Where do you do most of your massages?
I'm in that last room.
Oh, you're in the last room?
Yep.
So, are these
These are used by other massage shops. The smoking was in this room.
There you go.
Oh, there you go.
And it was in the smoke was in that corner.
All right.
So it just smelled like cigarette smoke in
Yeah.
here, huh?
And you could walk right here and you could not smell it, but if you walk to the corner,
So I've
you
got
can
it
smell
facing, the sensor's facing. I'm going to just put my hand to make sure it works.
Did it feel like real smoke to where your eyes?
No, it was just the smell.
Just the smell. And then this down here was where they saw the apparition walk from room to room. And we got the REM pod. Tammy set it up, so she did a reset on it. Basically, if you remember with the REM pods, you have to touch it or break its barrier to get it to go off. Our cell phones will not affect that. Are you feeling digital for EVP or analog?
I don't know. What do you want to listen to? What do you want?
Yeah. What would you like to go through for hours and hours? I think the analog might work because if it's an older
Okay.
spirit.
Yeah.
So then what we're going to do is set up, this is just an old tape recorder and a microphone. The whole idea is if we're asking someone to talk to us, they can manipulate the cassette tape inside, and we'll roll through that at some point later on and see if we get any voices. All right. Oh, this is bigger in here too, so.
And we're gonna put this over here because this looks old. Is this old? No.
Yes, it is.
Okay.
Oh, so it could even be something attached to that.
Could be furniture.
There's energy over here, and that's what I'm saying. This is her room, so I would. You want a chair? There's a chair
No.
right here.
All right, so this is the room that you work out of, right?
Yes.
All right. So same as the other room, we've got the analog recorder going, and we've got the flashlight set up over there.
Buy a bowl of crystals. I'm sure in your time frame you understand what a flashlight is. There is no button on it. You do have to turn it. If you want to turn the flashlight on, let us know you're here. Were you smoking in the other room? Oh, I'm gonna flip my ghost tube on
Oh yeah. Oh, I forgot about that.
because it might spit out a name.
For anybody wondering, ghost tube is like the obulus.
I know you're here. I've seen you.
Do you come in to get out of the land? Do you come in for shelter? You know, hiding smoking, just think if they were a patient over there and they somehow got a cigarette. They were a patient at the state hospital. I can
And they
guarantee
got out
they weren't allowed to smoke in their rooms. So that would signify the smoking.
So you've been really connected again to the land, the state hospital,
the
and
land.
the hiding of the smoking, not just somebody smoking,
It's not
but
just a smoking, but when she
It's
talked
like
about it, I just
hiding.
felt like they were hiding what they were doing.
okay.
I don't think it has to do with the doctor, honestly, that owned this. I don't think it has
I don't think it
anything
does
to
either.
do with anyone that owned it that may have died or anyone that died maybe under his care. I just feel like it's someone hiding, someone that is misplaced, someone that just was looking for some place to come. And you know, because you know enough about spirits, you always say, well, you're welcome to talk to me. So you're letting them know they're welcome.
It's a very welcoming space.
Yes.
And then I just noticed the cross up there too, which
Yeah. And the crystals is very,
Yeah, it's very calming in here.
It's a safe space for energy.
that's interesting. So I got the SLS app, and it's kind of showing like somebody laying. Oh, it stopped on the end of the bed. It keeps picking up something underneath the heart over there, but it's not like a stick figure, so I don't know what it is. Oh, it picked up you.
Like energy.
No, so it picks up like if there's supposed to be like any type of like figure, it'll pick up their body shape or whatever. Like if I'm pointing it at you guys, it shows like you guys in stick figure form. So the idea is if there's like an apparition or something, it would come up. Like you'd probably be able to see. You should be able to see me, maybe.
Oh yeah, I see you. Yeah, you're a green stick figure.
Yeah.
It'd be interesting to go over on the state hospital grounds. I mean, I don't know the history enough to know, but I just feel like it was a mass exodus. And they just went wherever they could. Under stairs, people go through people's garbage for food, because there was nothing.
So we just moved, and I'm getting ready to hit record on this. And it started playing music.
You hit something?
I mean, the button slid over, but I didn't like do it. You know what I'm saying? Like, feel the button how, I don't know if I can see this on the camera or not. Let me turn my light on so I can show them the button. So it's not a button, it's a slide.
Oh, this thing?
Yeah, but like, feel how hard it is? You have to.
But now
it's not tuned in.
So that's probably AM. And depending on where you stand. But you notice there's like, it doesn't just like, it's not an easy switch, right?
Right.
It's not like.
Okay, but I'm on FM now.
Right, and it was like right when I hit record, it started playing the music.
So that's the one.
Of course I wasn't recording when it happened, because I never am. Yeah.
I'm on the same and there's nothing. That's so weird.
So we got the flashlight set up. This is the area where they smelt the cigarette smoke. How long ago was the cigarette smoke again?
It's probably been 3-4 years.
Oh, okay. It's been a bit.
So it's been a hot minute for everything.
Yeah.
Did you make that music play? Because that button did not turn, that button does not slide easy.
Are you feeling anything in this room yet?
The energy's different in this room. It's kind of unsettled. Are you used to all this traffic?
I kind of get the sense of somebody lost in, like somebody who loses their home in the old hospital, comes out into the world and is just like lost in the chaos of what the real world is.
100%.
That picture just crossed my mind for some reason.
That's 100% what I've been feeling like.
When you said the traffic thing, I'm just picturing somebody just.
Yeah, like that's what I feel like. Definitely displaced.
That's a bird.
Was there ever children? Do we know? Was there children?
Lights.
Whoa.
You just shut your light off and it said lights.
Now, when my ex-husband was here working during renovations, he heard children playing here.
Yeah. You shut that off and they want the lights.
So if it's children.
They wouldn't want it dark.
Right.
Look at, he gave you another light.
If you want it off, you can just touch it. I'm going to shut my light off.
Can you make it brighter if you're afraid of the dark?
And it's off.
You don't want the flashlight on?
So we found our way to the Traverse City Asylum, the Northern Michigan Asylum, and
Away
this
from home.
is what was brought up at the last investigation.
Yes.
We're talking about the people that lost their homes. They were basically set into the
And
streets
just
of
think
Traverse City.
All of these at one time were the asylum. They weren't
Yeah.
home. So think about how many people.
What you're seeing behind me, they've redone as shops and condos and offices. And then this one right here that you see behind me,
All the way down there are unfinished.
these are all unfinished. So the whole idea is that, you know, these people were committed to this place through what? It didn't open up like the 1800s, closed down in 89 or 90.
And they shut, every one of these buildings had something. They shut them down and everyone was sent out.
And you think about, you know, were there plans for these people when they released them, because not any of them had a place to go. This was their home, essentially, where they were being treated for whatever mental condition they had. Now, the thing is, Traverse City has one of the highest homeless populations per capita in the country.
Yes.
And part of that is to do with the closure of this facility. So we talk about those spirits or those energies that are lost, trying to find a place to go, displaced, and why they might be in Karen's business, because she's got a very welcoming energy, not only to herself,
Yes.
but also her business.
Yes, and we, you know, as we look from here, between here and where she was, those buildings are newer.
Yeah.
So most likely we're gonna look, but most likely that was just land, and so they wandered
Yep.
and congregated. We just seen they make houses out in the land, like they just.
Yeah, literally in the front, basically in the front lawn of this place, and really back in the day, what would have been the front lawn.
Yes.
There's a bunch of pine trees out there, and the amount of homeless encampments, I couldn't even count the amount of them.
No.
And for a town like Traverse City, which only has 14 or 15,000 people in it,
It's crazy.
it was kind of like, I don't want to say it's Skid Row, but I would say it's probably comparable to on a much smaller level. Anyway, our purpose here is not to really talk about the paranormal here, because we legally cannot. They don't allow paranormal exploring here, but I wanted to show you guys this huge structure, and this is just one cottage,
Yeah,
right?
this is just one building. We're not even past the building yet.
Yeah. Even if we're not doing an actual paranormal investigation, we can still show you guys some of these places, and if you ever get a chance, you can actually come to Traverse City, and they do tours, not paranormal tours, historic tours, and you can also just go inside and eat in one of the shops, which is...
We just did, yeah.
Yeah, they got a shop downstairs, they got a t-shirt store, all sorts of shops. It's like a little local crafters mall type thing, but it's
But you think
immaculate.
how many of these buildings, and just think of how many people were just thrown out.
And this entire campus was like a lot of these campuses back in the 1800s, thinking of Mansfield.
Yeah.
It was self-sufficient. So there you have, I don't know if you guys can see that over there, but that's the old electric plant they had. They have a farm further out back.
Yep.
Or they had a farm. I
Yep.
don't know if it's built up yet or not.
Yep.
Oh, isn't that creepy tree back there too?
The hippie tree.
The hippie tree?
Yes.
The creepy tree.
It's called the hippie tree. Well, that's what people have called it.
Yeah, electric up. Oh, it looks like they're doing some construction in this one. So, this is the Traverse City Asylum.
Massive.
Yeah, I'm just going to kind of show you guys the pictures and let you take it all in as we walk. So Karen's experience with the displaced spirits, she can't be the only one in the area.
Oh gosh, no. There's no way.
If it's attached to the land,
There's no way.
you know, and I will say this, in Traverse City, you got a lot of nice people that are welcoming and
Yeah.
that have good energy like she does, you know, and how many hundreds of people were displaced from this. This one we can kind of get close to as we walk around the back.
Yeah.
I remember,
So this one doesn't have bars on the window. A lot of them, most of them
Yeah.
have bars on the windows. They're very.
yeah, you guys can see the fencing up there. And a lot of the front porches had the fencing on them
Yeah.
too.
Yeah.
Yeah, this was, I'm guessing it was partially, hey, you can wander the grounds, or hey, you're completely locked down because we can't control you.
Yeah.
You know, they didn't have the, you know,
Those have been redone over there.
oh wow, yeah,
Oh look, they're doing the roofs.
yeah.
So it looks like they're starting.
So last time I was here, it was probably about 10 years ago. Those all back there were still in complete disrepair.
Yeah.
I like that they still have some that aren't. I remember we peeked in some windows and you could see the pine boxes in the bottom,
Yes.
the coffins,
Yes.
caskets.
Yes. You're right. That is correct.
A lot of graffiti. Actually, this was the one we looked in. I want to say we peeked in this window, and this is where
Oh, yeah.
Is it in there?
Yeah, right there.